You're welcome to Daily Bread. This is Joshua Jeremiah, your host. It's a great honor and a great privilege sharing God's word with you. We don't take it for granted. We give God all the praise and glory for this opportunity. And we thank God for you for taking the time to watch and to share these with as many as you know. Please continue to do that. Help us spread it everywhere so we can get to the ends of the earth, blessing, impacting, and transforming the lives of many to the glory of God in Jesus' mighty name. Always seek God's face for permission first. A life that is truly under the preeminence of Christ will do nothing without first seeking his face for permission, guidance, and direction. If God truly has the preeminence in you, you can't just come and go as you please and do whatsoever you wish. No. Preeminence means surpassing all others, the superiority. If Christ is truly your Lord, your Master, your owner, and supreme authority, you will not do nothing. You will do nothing without seeking his face first. John 7 verse 1 to 6. After these things, Jesus walked in Galilee, for he did not want to walk in Judea, because the Jews sought to kill him. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand. His brothers therefore said to him, "Depart from here and go to Judea, that your disciples also may see the works that you do. For no one does anything in secret while he himself seeks to be known openly. If you do these things, show yourself to the world." You know what they were telling him to do? Go and make yourself popular. Build popularity. Become popular. You know, that's one of the craze. Oh God. It's one of the disease that has eaten deep into the hearts and souls, the spirits of Christian spiritual leaders today. Build popularity. And the reason for that basically is to have more followership for financial gains. They said to him, "Why are you here? Go to Judea, a more popular place. Let popularize your ministry. Go, let people know you so that you can have more disciples." Verse 5, for even his brothers did not believe in him. Verse 6, and Jesus said to them, I love the response he gave them. He said, "My time has not yet come." Woo! In other means, what he was saying, I operate under the timing of God. God makes all, to every purpose and agenda of heaven, there is a timing for their fulfillment. I operate under the timing of God. He said, but my time has not yet come. He said, but your time is always ready. What he was telling them, you people are not governed by the timing of God. You don't operate under the timing of God. You come and go as you please. He said, unfortunately, I don't operate that way. There is a time for everything in God. My time has not yet come. After David and his men had lost all they had, when their base, Ziklag, was attacked, he didn't just jump into action or reaction. He inquired of the Lord first on what to do. And that's what we're stressing. Always inquire on the Lord first. For Samuel 30 verse 1 to 4. And so now it happened when David and his men came to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag, attacked Ziklag and burned it with fire, and had taken captive the women and those who were there, from small to great. They did not kill anyone, but carried them away and went their way. Verse 3, so David and his men came to the city, and there it was, burned with fire, and their wives, their sons, their daughters had been taken captive. Then David and the people who were with him lifted up their voices and wept until he had no more power to weep. So many things happened in between. Then let's go to verse 7 and 8. Then David said to Abiathar, he wanted to consult God on what to do. He didn't just jump in reflex reactions, let's just pursue. No. Then David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, please bring the ephod here to me. And Abiathar brought the ephod to David. And David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered, the Lord answered David, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, and without fail recover all. So before David embarked on that journey to pursue, they had lost everything. The Amalekites invaded their base and took everything they had, burned the base, but took everything. No life was killed there. And so he inquired of the Lord what to do. Shall I pursue the troop? Shall I overtake? And the Lord answered him, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them and without fail recover all. Verse 11 to 20. And so they pursued. The pursuit began. And in the course of the pursuit, they came to a place. Verse 11 and 20. Then they found an Egyptian in the field, and they brought him to David. And they gave him bread, and he ate. The guy was almost dead. 3 days he had not eaten or drank anything. They found him there. And so they brought him to David, and David decided to revive the man, to save his life. Don't forget, they were on the mission of pursuing the Amalekites so that they could recover all their wives, their children, and everything that was theirs. And here they were, they found an Egyptian and decided to help him. Would you have spent any minute wasting time on this man that is about to die? But hear me well. Even in the course of pursuing God's purpose and agenda, you must learn to be generous. You must learn to be helpful. Lend helping hands to those in need. There are people you will meet on your way who have needs that is in your power to meet. Meet them. Don't say, well, I'm just God. I'm just focused on what I'm doing. Because when he met this man and helped this man became the key to helping them arrive at where they were going to. They found an Egyptian in the field and brought him to David, and they gave him bread and he ate, and they let him drink water, and they gave him a piece of a cake of figs and 2 clusters of raisin. He revived him back. And so when he had eaten, his strength came back to him, for he had eaten no bread nor drunk water for 3 days and 3 nights. Then David said to him, to whom do you belong? And where are you from? And he said, I'm a young man from Egypt, servant of an Amalekite. And my master left me behind because 3 days ago I fell sick. And we made an invasion of the southern area of the Kerethites in the territory which belongs to Judah. Exactly their base. The base of David and where his people were. And so here they were. Because they helped this man. And they were just asking him questions. And what he was telling them was exactly what they needed in the pursuit to catch up and recover all they had lost. So just think for a second. What if they had thought, David said, look, we're too busy. We don't have time for this man. Leave him, let's go. They will have missed somebody God had stationed, positioned to be of help to them to arrive at their destination. Even as you're on the journey of destiny, there are people God has positioned along your way who are there to help you. At the first instance, they don't look like they have anything to offer you. You probably have to help them first. And after that, and then you would benefit the help in which God has stationed them there to give to you. And so if you miss that, you'll miss greatly for your life. So the man was saying, we invaded the southern area of the Kerethites in the territory which belongs to Judah and of the southern area of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire. He didn't know what he was saying. He was just giving them accurate information, and that affected them. And David said to him, can you take me down to this troop? So he said, swear to me by God that you will neither kill me nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will take you down to this troop. And when he had brought him down there, so he swore, and he took them down there where the Amalekites had camped. And there they were, spread out all over the land, eating and drinking and dancing because of all the great spoils which they had taken from the land of Philistines. Take note, they had invaded other lands of the Philistines and then invaded Ziklag on their way home. So they had acquired so much before they got to Ziklag. Ziklag was just a bonus because it was a land on the way. So let's not leave this out. And they added to it. Because of all the great spoils which they had taken from the land of Philistines and from the land of Judah. Then David attacked them from twilight. Take note, God had told him, he sought God's face. Should I pursue? Will I overtake? Will I recover all? God said, go. You will recover all. David attacked them from twilight until the evening of the next day. Not a man of them escaped except 400 young men who rode on camels and fled. Verse 18. So David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away. And David rescued his 2 wives, and nothing of theirs was lacking, either small or great, sons or daughters, spoil or anything which they had taken from them. David recovered all, and I add, and even much more, because this Amalekites army had invaded Philistines' territory before they got to Ziklag. So they had amassed so much. So not only did David recover all that was theirs, they had much more. David recovered all. Then David took all the flocks and herds that they had driven before those other flocks and said, this is David's spoil. If David hadn't inquired of the Lord, will he have been able to recover anything? Obviously, no. And even after he had inquired, and God said, pursue. And then they met an Egyptian on the way. If he hadn't shown kindness to the Egyptian they found on the way that was dying, how would they have been able to locate the exact spot where the Amalekites camped? That helped them to be more precise because of the help they rendered the Egyptian. Never take things for granted. Never. Never take people for granted as well. No one is useless. Everyone is useful. Everyone has qualities, virtues, and values. Everyone is useful in a certain way. Some people you think are not useful is because you have not located where they can be useful yet. That's why. So never take things for granted. Never take people for granted. For by strength shall no man prevail. God has destined it that your strength alone can never bring you to the place of the fullness of what he has planned for you. God bless you and keep you till we meet again in Jesus' mighty name.